Val Morgan Digital acknowledges the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation, the traditional custodians of the land where this podcast is filmed. We pay our respects to their elders, past, present, and emerging, and extend that respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people. I think it's interesting that this person said that they're doing the bare minimum by always being pregnant or on maternity leave, because that
line was wild.
Because it is someone's right to be pregnant and take that maternity leave.
Yeah.
That is not doing the bare minimum.
You've clocked into office hours with work besties Sohan and Hameda, helping you survive and thrive between 9 and 5.
We believe in work and play, so get ready to crush your career and live your best life. We're here to talk about what you owe your colleagues, and this kind of comes off the back of our first episode where we talked about work friends and the dynamics and whether they could be your real friends, and there was a lot of conversations about expectations and what you owe work friends. But today we're talking more about colleagues.
Yeah.
They might not be your friends.
There's a difference between what you owe your work friends, people you have actual personal relationships with, and people who just exist in your workplace.
Yeah. So what do you think the bare minimum is that you owe a coworker?
Friendliness, helpfulness to a point, because you don't want to go overly helpful, and grace.
Yeah.
What do you think?
That's such like a kind way of putting it. I was just going to say competence and being nice.
Yeah. Well, that's basically what I said.
Yeah, true. That's what I'm saying, like such a kind way of saying it. Is helping out like part of being a good teammate, and is it kind of owed?
I think helping out to be a good teammate only works when you have covered off your work.
Yes.
Because sometimes it can be detrimental to other teammates if you start saying yes and helping other people.
Yes.
Just to try to make yourself seem like a really friendly person who's helping everyone. It's like, no, do your own work. That's helping.
Also, like we got to define like helping out as well, because obviously in a workplace, like, I do like social team or whatever. If someone comes to me to ask for like data on our social pages, it's my job to give that to them.
Well, yeah, that's not
helping out.
No.
Helping out, I would say, is us asking these guys to film the podcast for us.
Basically, when we force the juniors to come in and stand behind cameras for 2 hours straight and listen to us, it's only really helping out if it extends beyond your actual workload.
Yes.
Like, is not part of like what you're supposed to be doing.
100%.
Like if someone pulls me into a brainstorm to come up with ideas for a campaign, that's part of my job. That's not me helping out. Even though they act like it is and it's so sweet. Like they're so cute because they'll be like, thank you so much for, and I'm like, I can't say no to this. I would get in trouble actually. Like,
you know what always makes me laugh is when like, I don't know if I should say this, but what makes me laugh is like when someone will do a shout out for someone.
And it's them doing their job.
It's just them doing their job.
That happens so often.
And I'm like, can I get a shout out for updating my spreadsheet today?
Literally, I have the same exact thoughts sometimes. And it's so hard, but like for sure, I'm so sorry, that's not a win.
It's not a win. But I will say though, I do love the culture of shouting out wins, you know, because it just makes everyone.
It cheapens the other wins.
That's
I'm so sorry.
Maybe we should.
And that's honestly, now that I think of it, probably why I don't really care about being shouted out in wins.
Yeah, I think like I feel it most when like someone I really look up to or respect shouts me out. I'm like, oh my God. Anyway, we've got off track, but that's okay. We love it. Look, I think it's time to get into these dilemmas.
Okay, yeah.
Let's do it.
We've been ranting a little
bit.
We've been
ranting a lot. I don't even know what we're talking about anymore, so let's get into it. I reported my colleague to HR and my boss told me to stay out of her way. Am I the problem? Let's find out. I'm 26 in my first job while finishing my master's. There's another colleague, Thea. She's 27, joined 2 months before me, also doing postgrad. She's incredibly efficient and I wanted to learn from her. At first, she was fine with me tagging along, but she works with very strict timelines, which I struggled to keep up with. She'd just tell me to be faster next time and move on. Mood. Sorry, just kidding. Recently, she put up a huge whiteboard at her desk, which detailed all of her meetings and tasks for the month. I was very impressed and asked her what the tasks on her board meant. She became very irritated when I asked if there was room for one more teammate, and she finally snapped and said, "Not everything with my name needs you involved." I was shocked, but figured maybe she was having a bad day. Ever since then, she's been very distant and generally just difficult to work with. I felt she was creating a hostile environment that affected my productivity. So I reported her to HR after collecting some evidence.
Oh my God. What is happening?
And HR said they would talk to her. Well, the talk didn't seem to go well because now our boss has just told me to stay out of her way and removed me from all projects that involve her. I don't want to ruin work relationships, but it was hard working with her and I thought reporting was the right way to advocate for myself. Am I the problem?
Sorry. I'm trying to wrap my head around it. Because like a sentence would begin and then end in a completely different way than I expected.
Yes.
And it just kept getting worse.
Yes.
Like snowballing.
Yeah. What I'm seeing is that this person kind of admired Thea. Like they were like, oh, wow, like she's so smart, she's so efficient, she's doing all these tasks. Like I want to learn and I want to be a part of it, which is a great sentiment.
Yeah. Thea seems like the kind of person that would inspire.
Yeah.
I'm inspired.
I'm inspired by Thea.
Yeah.
Efficient, whiteboard, tasks on the board.
Hell yeah.
Absolute slay.
And I feel like that's happened in the past.
Yeah.
I've seen people in the way they work and I've become like really like, oh my God, I want to learn more about how they do things.
Yes.
How they interpret situations and what they would do.
Yeah.
However, I'm not going to go up to the person and be like, can you like, what's this about? What's this about? Asking like, and basically disrupting the process that made you admire them in the first place.
I think that's the big one here is the disruption of the process. And I think that's probably what Thea was feeling here. But this kind of poses the question, like, do you owe training or mentorship to newer team members or to your colleagues? Mm-hmm. Or is that your manager's job?
I mean, okay, when you add the manager into the equation, yeah, it's probably the manager's job. But I think it's a case by case when it's just a colleague, because sometimes you can meet people in the workplace when you're a little bit more senior and you see potential in them and you want to give them those gifts, those tips, that knowledge, but that's yours to give.
And it's not, I feel like it's not necessarily owed to the colleague.
No.
It's if you feel like you want to mentor and help and kind of do that yeah, you can definitely do that if you want. But I don't think that this person writing in was owed that.
No.
I also think going to HR, again, we talked about this last time.
People really are out here going to HR, like a lot.
I thought no one went to HR.
Same.
People be going to HR. Be careful, guys. You could be reported to HR.
Which is funny. I think, this is my hypothesis on why we're so concerned or confused when people talk about HR.
Yeah.
Is because probably like for the first 5 years we worked together, we basically didn't have HR.
Yeah.
Like we did not have a local HR
No,
team.
they were in the US.
So, and what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Wait 24 hours for someone to get back to you about like someone not talking to you?
Well, yeah. You'd probably just want to sort it out on the day, not wait.
Which is what we did. And I think we learned how to navigate situations without that external force.
That's so true.
When we hear people talking about it, we're like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
Like you would go to them for that? Like, surely they're busy.
Yeah. It's just, I like looking at this situation, it also kind of sounds like this person is probably
incompetent.
Well, I didn't say it, you did.
My bad.
No, but it's true because then the manager also being like stay out of her way, remove from the projects, let Thea do her thing. She is slaying. Do not get involved. What I think though the manager should do in this situation, as a manager, I believe that this is an opportunity to kind of step in and be like, okay, what training do you need and how can I help you like get to the level that you want to get to? You know, they're how long have they worked there for?
Okay, but Thea only joined 2 months before her.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Thea just sounds like a great worker, a great employee.
But you're right. And I didn't think of it from that perspective. So thank you for bringing a manager's point of view into the situation because I get it. Like, she shouldn't have just been like, leave Thea alone.
Yeah.
Like, you're no longer on any projects.
Yeah.
There should have been okay, but why do you want to work? Like, tell me what attributes you really enjoy that you want to learn more of. Let's get some formal training in.
To be fair, the manager may have done that, but maybe all this person heard was stay out of her way.
True.
Because that sounds a bit intense.
But if she removed her from all the projects, then
that Thea's working on.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, maybe she didn't say, do you want, because like, surely she could have kept her on the projects and been like, you're getting like separate training, but you can still work on these things.
Yeah. It was obviously disrupting Thea's flow.
Yeah. And it would, because like imagine you're trying to get something done and someone keeps asking you questions and they started 2 months after you, so you're not like that much more senior than them.
Yes.
You're wasting your time slowing down to like bring this person up to speed, and it affects your workflow. Like,
yeah.
So obviously she's still trying to prove herself there. Yeah. And doing all this work to, obviously make a name for herself because they're still very new. And then there's this other person who's like kind of dragging them down.
100%. I think this is also interesting because it's this person's first job. So, going into corporate culture, it can be a bit of a shock about etiquette and what you, can like should and shouldn't do. So I think it's a great learning for this person to just kind of be like, okay, look, you can observe from a distance and be inspired and be like, wow, I love the whiteboard that's been put up and all the tasks. Maybe I can figure out how to do that for myself.
And you know what? If you stay quiet and observe long enough, you'll learn everything that you have questions about. You don't need to be asking the person about every single detail. Just observe quietly and contribute where you can, but maybe don't interrupt.
Or like offer to help instead of being like,
I feel like
can I
want her to. No, because she said not everything with my name needs you involved, which is really mean. Yeah, but also kind of iconic. And I wish I could be more assertive like that. Because I've felt that way in my career, where I've wanted to tell someone, you don't have to
back off.
Like let me do my thing. Why are you getting involved in this? Like, why are you trying to act like you're part of this? Yes. When this is like my thing and you're not contributing anything to it. I think that's the frustrating part.
100%, especially if Thea's trying to prove herself as well, being new to the company too. I have a question. Okay, the collecting evidence part. Now,
I forgot about that.
Is collecting evidence on a coworker like smart, or should you not do it?
Depends on the context. Yeah. Obviously, if they're harassing you, probably take screenshots. Yeah. But if it's just because, like, what is the evidence? That's what I want to know. Can I come back to this line? Yeah. I felt she was creating a hostile environment that affected my productivity.
Yeah, that sounds like a problem.
Maybe don't go into that environment because it's not for you. Yeah. That's why it feels hostile.
Because it's not your environment. Exactly. You're kind of butting into someone else's workflow.
Precisely.
Yeah. I really think in this situation, the person should not have reported it to HR. Even though they wanted to advocate for themselves, I think a better way would have been going to your manager and being like, this is what I want to learn. At first, she was fine with me tagging along, but she works with very strict timelines, which I struggled to keep up with. So this is the other thing, is I feel like Thea's probably a very efficient, quick worker, and this person is a bit slower. And you know what? These things come with practice.
Because we don't know that it's Thea's first job.
Yeah, it might not be Thea's first job. She's also had 2 months on this other person. And efficiency is a big thing. Like, some people just take a bit longer to do something, and that's, that efficiency and that quickness is going to come with repetition. Yeah. So just write it out. Like this person, you'll probably be more efficient in a few months' time once you've done it a few times on your own and not actually like lent on other people and tried to do it with other people.
I don't want to bring gender politics into this, but I just realized this might have been written by a man. That makes so much more sense.
No. You know what? I had the exact same thought. Although, little secret, when I was looking for this on Reddit and I went into the comments to like try and figure it out, they're both women. Oh. Yeah, but I really thought it's giving man behavior.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they're both women.
Wow. Because I would so expect this from a man. Yeah. No offense. Actually, full offense, but
I mean, like, look, OP, you are the problem, but this is a learning for you for next time, is you are not entitled to other people's mentorship. If you want a mentor or someone to train you, speak to your manager. And they can probably help sort that out for you instead of just expecting it of your coworker. Yes. I have one more question. Have you ever had a situation where someone you've worked with, you've been inspired by, and then things go sour?
That's a good question. I don't think so.
I have a story.
Yes, please enlighten me, because I don't know.
So, like, in my early career, I worked with, like, people. There was like one person that I had looked up to since I was a child, like literally a kid.
Oh my God.
And finally got like to work, like not really with them, but I was like a junior in the team. I was actually an intern. It was like part of my uni internship that I got to work with this specific team. And I was so excited and so starstruck by this specific person.
Goals, by the way.
Yeah. And they turned out to just like completely ignore me and discard me and not really like, I was really hurt. I was like, oh my God, I thought this person was like so kind and cool. And then when I met them, I was like, oh, this is not what I thought it would be.
That's awful.
I'm trying to like tell the story with detail without giving too much away.
No, you're doing great. Like as someone who doesn't know the context of the situation that deeply, I understand what you're saying.
It was like a starstruck thing of one of those things where it's like, never meet your idols because but a good thing that came out of that situation was another person who was like part of the team ended up like being really nice and surprising me and like that was really cool. So
oh my God,
you never know.
Yeah.
Okay, we've been rambling. Should we go to the next one?
So the title of this one is Working Mothers.
Okay,
that's it. I'm 28, single, no kids, and I stick to my hours. Okay. Our team is lucky. Our manager lets us do tasks whenever as long as we meet deadlines. Iconic.
Love.
Work from home, the office at 3 a.m., less than 40 hours. It doesn't matter. That is exactly how we should be running businesses.
Thank you.
For 6 years, one coworker who's in her 30s has done the bare minimum. Always pregnant, on maternity leave, on holiday, or sick during heavy workloads. When she is at work, she dumps tasks on others, often using her kids as an excuse. Usually the other team members pick up her slack, but I refuse to do so. During a busy period, she wasn't pregnant or on leave. Part of the project required some of us to travel for 3 weeks, but it was my turn to stay in the office doing data analysis. Oh my God, you love
data.
That.
I love data.
She asked me to switch because she apparently can't leave her 5 kids with her husband. 5 kids!
She was always pregnant. She did say
It takes 9 months to cook one. Sorry, not cook one. I said no. She tried to guilt trip me, saying that childcare costs would be more than her month's pay and that I don't have any responsibilities like her. But I told her they're not my kids, so I don't see how that's my problem. Now she's sulking. Some coworkers say I don't understand how hardworking mothers have it, and that I should have been more compassionate. Am I the problem?
This is an interesting one. I would say no. Okay, first of all, I just want to caveat, neither of us are mothers to humans. We're mothers to cats, totally different. Yeah. But I just want to like caveat, we don't have lived experience about being a working mother. We do work with working mothers.
They've never acted like this.
Yeah, no. I also want to flag, I think it's interesting that this person said that they're doing the bare minimum by always being pregnant or on maternity leave. Because
that line was wild.
Because it is someone's right to be pregnant and take that maternity leave. Yeah. That is not doing the bare minimum.
I'm so sorry because for like 70% I am on the OP side.
Yeah.
But I completely disagree that doing the bare minimum is maternity leave.
Yeah.
And having there's a reason that I don't have children, and that's because I know it's not the bare minimum to create them.
Literally.
Basically.
And also when you're pregnant / on maternity leave. You're on leave. You're not working. That's not doing the bare minimum. You're not working. Yeah. But I also think this working mother should not put it on the coworker to swap shifts. That is not this coworker's situation. Also, the line about OP not having responsibilities like the mother. Sorry. Ooh. You don't know that.
That would set me off.
Being single with no kids can also be a lot of work.
Yeah.
And you don't know what's going on in this person's personal life. Regardless, it's not this person's responsibility to swap shifts with you. So
because you have 5 kids and you can't. First of all, why can't you leave them with your husband? I'm sorry.
I think
if you can take care of them, why can't your husband?
That's a whole other conversation, but husband might need to step it up a little
bit.
Talk
to the husband. Yeah, exactly.
But I also think what really should have happened in this scenario is the mother should have gone to their team manager. If the manager's so lenient and flexible, why don't you just have a chat with your manager and be like, hey, look, leaving the office for 3 weeks nonstop is difficult for me. Is there any flexible arrangement I could do?
Is honestly so understandable because if I did have children, I would not want to be away from them for that long.
Yeah.
That's a long time to be without your kids. So I'm sure the manager would have been so fine with that.
Just shuffling around the schedule or whatever, it really should not be on the coworker to take on that responsibility at all.
That's weird. Asking your coworker instead of maybe she's done it before.
Probably.
And the manager was like, this is the last time.
Maybe she's being a sneaky. But do you think that co-workers without children owe parents, like co-worker parents, flexibility?
No,
it's on the manager, I think, to do that. It's on
the manager. It's on the co-worker who has the stuff that they need to navigate. Because when I have issues, I don't have children, but sometimes I have other things that come up in my life. I'm not going to put that on my co-workers.
No. Especially, I think it's okay to ask. Like, is it possible that maybe we could swap? But then the guilt tripping is where it gets really not appropriate.
Well, and I think that's what's driven the original poster to this point. Yeah. It's probably the first few times they were like, okay, I kind of get it. Like, let's try to be a little bit more lenient. And then it got to a point where they're like, why am I doing all of this when you end up doing like half the work for the same salary or whatever? Yeah. Like, I get it. I understand why they're frustrated. Again, we work with a lot of working mothers and none of them have ever made it the problem of the workplace that they have children. So I don't know from experience how this would feel.
And I also feel like we've been quite lucky in our workplaces is that they do make accommodations for working parents.
Which it
flexible
sounds like,
hours.
It sounds like this manager's doing.
Yeah.
So I don't see the issue.
What's the issue? So when does helping your coworker become enabling bad behavior?
That's a great question.
Where's the line? I think when it starts to impact you.
Your workload?
Yeah, and your mental health and your capacity, and if it becomes a bad situation for you, I think that's...
But if you're doing the same amount of work and you're just noticing that someone else is doing less work than you, maybe calm down. It's not that deep.
Yeah.
Just keep doing your work.
Yeah.
Who cares what other people are doing?
Keep chugging along. Have you ever said no to helping a coworker?
I've never said no to helping.
Really?
A coworker. Yeah.
I feel like that's a lie. Surely.
What do you mean?
Okay.
Are you about to pull receipts? What
no. I'm just no, you know what? You are.
I'm a people pleaser. I work twice as hard just to help someone else, even if I don't like that person.
See, I've definitely, if someone's asked me for help for myself or my team or something, I'll be like, look, we can't accommodate this at the moment. We're at capacity, but then I will try and help them find other solutions or other people they could maybe talk to fix the problem.
I do it kind of flipped. I'll try to find an alternate solution. And if there literally isn't one, then I'll be like, okay, so I'll just do it.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
But I've never downright turned someone down to help with something because I was like, do it yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even though I will be crashing out the entire time. If someone asks me for help and I'm at home, someone knows this firsthand because I will message and be like, I will throw the biggest tantrum, but I will still do the thing in 20 minutes. Just smash it out, but the whole time be bitching about it.
And sometimes you just need that outlet.
Yeah.
Because also, I feel like a lot of the time when this happens to me, I just have to remind myself, it's not that deep.
Yes.
We're not doing anything that's that deep. And we're just making fun content.
Almost always never takes as long as you think it will when they first ask.
Yeah, yeah.
It's usually pretty. And I've also found a good 33% of the time, I will agree to help with something and then they won't need the help, but I've still agreed to it. So I'm still a good person.
Points for you. Well done.
I know. I love collecting points.
Have you ever had a awkward guilt trip moment from a coworker?
I feel like things are coming back to me. I was like, no, I've never said no. Oh my God, I have said no.
I knew it was a lie. I was like, really?
I have said no.
Yeah.
It was absolutely, okay, and it was purely from spite.
Okay, tell me more.
Okay, basically, I was in a work situation. And it was someone on my team who was more senior than me, but not my manager.
Okay.
But because they were more senior than me, I expected more from them.
Okay.
Because they had the higher title. They were kind of managing the stuff that I was doing.
Okay.
And obviously they probably had a higher salary.
Yeah.
Even though I didn't know for sure, because apparently, in our industry, people don't like sharing that. I think it's silly to not share that information, but that's just me. And essentially, I knew that they had been asked to do something a few weeks back. And then when the time came for the deadline, maybe a couple of days before, they were like, can you do this? And I already had my own stuff. And they were lacking on their stuff plus this. And they were and this is what I mean by spite. Because
I think I might know who you're talking about.
You probably do.
Okay. Continue.
I'm trying to be vague. Hopefully it's as vague as it can be. And it had built up over time. Okay, this wasn't like the first time they asked me something. This was like you've been showing me that you're incompetent and unreliable, and I'm not going to pick up your slack. So I just messaged my manager and said, hey, this is happening. I'm not into it. Please, like, figure something out. And then the situation sorted itself and I didn't touch it. But, like...
Because that would have put you out.
They did try to guilt me.
They did?
Yeah, when I was like, I don't think I can do that.
Yeah.
They kind of were like, well, I asked you to do it and it needs to be done. Like, fully, yeah.
And they're not your manager?
No.
Flabbergasted.
They're not my manager, and I went to my manager, which was like HR for us.
I know.
But that's not fair, especially to a junior. Like, that's just...
It's taking advantage of you and your time.
Yeah.
And it, like, had you taken on that task, like, 2 days before it was due, it would have put you out.
Exactly.
It would have impacted your, like, workflow. You might have had to work late.
Yeah.
And, you know,
Yeah, and here's the thing. If they had asked me when they were briefed...
To help?
Yep.
Yeah.
And approached it like an opportunity instead of being like, this is your task now.
Yeah.
I would have been so on board. And that's where the problem lies.
And that's where, like, communication is so important, which we're actually going to talk about in our next episode. So stay tuned. All right, let's go to the next one. I am an enigma.
Ooh.
I'm in a little trouble at work because I've been sort of hiding my personal life. I've worked in this office for about 9 years and am notoriously private. I believe in a clear separation of work and home life. None of my co-workers knew I'm married, have twin daughters, and a very active personal life. It's a lot to hide. But
the last person should take notes from this one.
I do have good friendships at work. I just enjoy those 10 hours as adult time without my family in the mix. It's an interesting way for it. Okay, enter Melinda, the office snoop. Last week, she came in and announced to everyone that I'm married, have kids, a nice house, play softball, kayak, mountain climb, and that I'm on Facebook. I don't even use my full name on Facebook, so I'm not sure how she found me. I reported her to HR.
As you should.
This is one HR report that I'm kind of like, okay, fair enough.
I'm backing this.
Now my co-workers are acting like it's a big deal. One even said she's hurt, I don't trust them. I explained it's nothing personal, I just don't like mixing work and home. I apologized if anyone's feelings were hurt, but now they barely speak to me unless it's about work. I've never lied to them, I've never given them false info, I've never made up wild tales about my life. I'm still the same person I was. Am I the problem?
How are people not more concerned that they have a stalker in the mix?
Oh yeah, Melinda.
What are we talking about?
Melinda.
Why do we care what's been hidden from us when we have a freaking what?
Yeah, but you know, I can imagine it, right? In an office environment, like Melinda, the office snoop. Like, office snoop is an interesting way to put it, very, very real, but maybe they...
Let's not normalize
No, I'm not normalizing it. I just say I can see it playing out. Especially if Melinda is new and is like, oh my God,
I don't think she's new, babe.
Okay.
Because she's the office, she has a title.
Oh, okay.
As the snoop, so this isn't even a first-time offense.
I'm not like endorsing Melinda's actions. I'm just like, I can see it. Like I can see it. Like Melinda, oh my God, Sally, I didn't know you kayak.
And play softball.
And have an, I can see it.
On Facebook, which is the funniest part of it.
Yeah, on Facebook. Completely inappropriate by Melinda.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that aside, I feel like reporting to HR, so fine, but also, like, why are you actively hiding big parts of your life? Like,
let's go over the first section.
Yeah.
And then we'll go into the next section.
Okay.
Because I feel like there's two issues happening here. Yes, continue. Why are you hiding things? And also, I find it interesting that, like, this person has said, and this goes back to work friends, that this person's saying that I've made good friendships at work. Can you really call it a friendship if you're actively hiding things about your life? Like, do you think actively hiding things about your life is lying? No. I think actively hiding things about your life is not lying, but I also think that you shouldn't call people work friends if you don't tell them. And we know this from the last episode.
Yes.
Like I said, I don't call people work friends unless they know things about my life and I share those things with them. And there are plenty of people who don't.
Yeah. Which is fine. It's okay to not talk about your personal life in the workplace.
Absolutely. But, like, that's not a work friend.
No. And I think where this one goes weird is now the co-workers are not talking to her about anything other than work, and I think that's totally fine. Because what can you expect
Well, that's what you wanted.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Is that what you wanted?
Well, I think she wanted to, bake her cake and eat it too?
Adult time. No, she says, I have good friendships at work. I just enjoy those 10 hours as adult time. Versus, say, for example, someone we've talked about previously who doesn't want to be friendly at all at work.
Yeah.
So I guess they're giving her that treatment now.
Yes.
I don't think that's fair. Because you can be friendly without being personal. Like, why aren't you just talking about current events?
That's probably what they are talking about.
Do you think?
And just not mentioning their family, their activities.
Oh, like specific. That's so weird.
Yeah, I'm like, honestly, I can't relate. Like,
No.
I come into the office, like, we're always like, oh, how was your weekend? And I'm like, oh, yeah, me and my husband, blah, blah. Like, I can't help it personally. I actually have to reel myself in and like stop oversharing because like I don't want to be like oversharing everything.
I feel that.
I like cannot relate to this person one bit. And I think this person is allowed to keep things private, but I also don't think this person should expect
it's kind of
friendship from their coworkers.
It's kind of giving severance. Because no personal life or details, but still being friendly at work.
Oh my God.
So you're severing yourself.
You're severing yourself. Self-severance.
Self-severance. I'm so conflicted. This one's got me so conflicted because I get it that it's weird, but I actually don't really think it's that weird to not want to tell people about your life. Maybe she thought she'd be judged. Like, people judge mothers, as we know.
Oh, totally. Yeah, that's true.
Like, it's so fair to not want to disclose things about your life.
I think it's fair. I think this person doesn't. Like, okay, this is the question is like, do you owe co-workers personal information if you see them every day?
No, I don't think you owe
No, I don't think you owe it either. I also, though, in this situation, while you don't owe that information, you also can't expect people to share that information with you. And if they are feeling upset that you've hid this information from them and they, you know, are now just talking to you about work and that's it, you might just need to like ride this one out.
See, but here's the thing for me in that situation is that, okay, fair enough if they don't want to share that stuff with you, but it sounds like now they're just intentionally leaving her out of those conversations because of the fact that she's not sharing.
Yeah.
And that's not cool.
No.
Because if you're comfortable sharing, share with everyone that you consider a friend.
I'm getting so conflicted.
I keep flip-flopping. It's so hard because I can see both sides.
Yeah.
Although I would never hold it against someone if they didn't want to tell me about their life.
Yeah.
Because that's happened.
Yeah.
We've had people that we've worked with who like have revealed stuff just as they've left.
Yes.
And we've been like, oh my God, what a queen.
Like, let's be friends. Well, work friends or whatever, however we define it.
Well, yeah, because we literally did not speak during, but then again, they weren't like asking us about our personal life.
No. But all of a sudden they did. And then we were like, oh my God, we have so much in common. Like, let's chat more.
Yeah.
And then they resigned. And we were like, okay, that was fun for a week. Have a good life. Love you.
Haven't heard from them since.
No.
So maybe they were a work friend.
They were not a work friend.
They weren't.
It was just like a fun work chat that we had with them for a hot second.
They were like a colleague.
Yeah. A colleague that you suddenly... Anyway, whatever. Not relevant.
Not relevant.
So yeah, this is the other thing is like, is not sharing information the same as lying? We said no.
I believe no.
Yeah, I agree. There's just part of me though that's like, and this might be my own like personal, I'm like, how could you not share like, oh, I have a family?
Very easily.
Oh my God. It's okay. It's fine.
I mean, like, because honestly, I also don't care to hear about people's spouses and children.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear about it. So I would love to be this person's friend.
That is so true, actually. I don't really care that much about co-workers' personal life.
I don't want to know. Like, yeah, I'll do oh my God, so cute when someone has a baby. But like, I don't want you to tell me about it.
Yeah, not too much. No. I'd give it a cap on like a few minute conversation.
Like, are they healthy?
Yeah.
Are they happy?
Yeah.
Great.
And also like, how are you?
Yes.
You've just had a baby. How are you? That's probably more what I care about.
Yep.
If they bring the baby to the office, I will be holding it for the whole day. I love holding a baby.
Someone loves a baby.
I mean, I just remember that one time that a baby was in our office. Yeah, it literally has happened one time.
And it's now like forever.
It's like, it's immortalized. There was a baby in the office and I was tasked with looking after the baby while the mother was like in a shoot. And the baby just like was so comfortable with me. And I like mentally adopted it. And now I like check in with the mom, like not the mom, because I don't know the mom. I don't know the mom. I know the mom's friend who was our colleague. And I tell like the colleague, I'm like, you know, how's my daughter doing? Like it's just a little bit office bounce, isn't it? Anyway, so like this is, I think, the big question.
Okay.
If a coworker is offended by your privacy, whose problem is that?
The coworker.
Yeah.
It's none of your business.
Yeah.
How is it affecting your life?
Yeah.
You weirdo.
Yeah, look.
Sorry.
No, I agree. I also think that this person might just need to offer their coworkers a bit of a grace period. Like if they're feeling hurt by this, they're allowed to feel hurt by it. That doesn't mean that you did the wrong thing. And also Melinda, the bloody snoop, came in and like shook everything up.
Melinda needs to go.
Yeah, Melinda
needs to go to therapy. Melinda needs to find her own husband and children. Because what do you mean?
Yeah, what do you mean you're stalking?
What do you mean kayaking and soft? That's too much.
Yeah.
It's too much information.
Yeah.
Like general information, like, oh, you're like a Sagittarius and you have a husband. Okay, that's fine. But telling people what your interests are is really bizarre.
Yeah, and like announcing it to everyone as well in the team. Yeah, I feel like...
Like, okay, HR deserved. Like 100%.
That is an HR report for
That's
sure.
Too much.
It's a big privacy issue, especially because this person didn't have their full name on Facebook. So they are, actively trying to be private, which is their right.
Weird.
So what should this person do now that they're getting the cold shoulder? I would say write it out, let them be hurt. Things will probably settle in a few weeks where you'll find a middle ground of where you're able to like exist and just be chill in the same space. You might not get the same level of like friendliness and openness because they feel hurt. Mm-hmm. And that's okay.
But it's still entitlement. I still feel like they don't have the right to be hurt about that because she wasn't deceiving them. Unless she was, and we don't know because she hasn't like said it in. You
don't think they have the right to be hurt?
No. She wasn't deceiving them in any way. Nothing she was doing was impacting their life negatively. And therefore, why are you hurt?
Yeah.
Like, let's unpack.
Well, this probably goes back to work friends and maybe the expectations of these co-workers on OP was a little bit higher than it should have been.
But it sounds like in terms of like your responsibilities as a friend, she was meeting them. The only thing she wasn't doing was disclosing her personal life details. And like, that's fine.
I actually have another question. Ooh. Is there anything that your co-workers didn't know about you for ages, ever? Or like still don't know?
Well, it depends because like in this job, I don't know, but like I had a whole different name when I was a travel agent.
What?
Yeah. Even my business cards.
What do you mean? What was your name?
Hannah.
Oh my God, that's why that's your coffee order name.
Yeah. It's always been my like default because people always ask me 80 times about Hameda and I can't be bothered. But,
so you would just say I'm Hannah?
Well, because when we started, they were like, what would you like people to call you? And I was like, well, I don't really want to put down Hameda because then like my clients, do travel agents have, I guess, customers, would do the same thing. And then like, it's too complicated. Like I want something that's easy for them to remember. Yeah. So everyone called me Hannah and my business cards had Hannah.
Oh my gosh.
And they didn't know my actual name.
This is a great conversation about code switching, which we should talk about.
True.
All right, my job on the line. I, 29 female, work with my friend James, 40 male, at a tech company. He referred his friend from a previous job who he considers a sister, 45 female, to come and work at our company. Before the interview, there's a math test. She had questions, so I helped her a bit. She passed. Then I found out I'm interviewing her with my boss. Before the interview, James calls me to ask for the questions ahead of time. I said, I can't give you those, and he let it go. She comes to the interview, which had basic questions like, how do you prioritize workload? And she doesn't do well, so she doesn't move forward. Now, James is mad I didn't help her more. Says I should have read between the lines that she needed extra prep. From my perspective, interviewing her was already an ethical grey area and helping more would have been wrong. We've met maybe 4 or 5 times socially, so we're not friends. But James is adamant I dropped the ball and was selfish. Am I the problem?
How about James?
Why don't James?
How about James, you quit and you give your mate the job? Because you seem as incompetent as each other, so I don't think the business would care.
Yeah, I hate this so much, personally.
Yeah.
If this person could not answer the interview questions,
I'm so sorry.
They shouldn't get the job.
Yeah.
And like bringing someone into the workplace, I hate it. I hate it because you should not get a job just because you know some people and you've got extra help. That's like nepotism or whatever.
Yeah.
And I feel like that should not be allowed.
No. And I'm like, not to be ageist. but I'm going to be a little bit ageist.
Yeah.
But I would understand doing this for a younger candidate just because they don't have a lot of experience. They might not really understand as much as maybe someone who's done this for a while. And you might want to be like, okay, but like they can learn, they can grow. This is super ageist, but like, I don't care.
But you know what? Also,
leave it in the podcast.
It's also because we work in like a creative media industry where like a lot of things can be learned. And sometimes and I've seen this a lot when I've interviewed people, it's like, I know you've got like the creative mind and the capability, but maybe you don't have like extra proficient technical skills, which can be taught and you'll learn on the job.
Yeah.
But this is a tech company where there's a math test.
And I expect that this person should already be experienced and know about these things.
Yeah. Also, this person's 45 years old.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, they shouldn't get the job.
No. Well, yeah, like, long story short, bottom line, they should not get the job. But James needs to, like, grow up.
Yeah.
As a 40-year-old man.
I reckon James told his friend, like, don't worry, you're going to get the job. Like, I've got it. Like, old mate's going to help me, like, get you. And now.
And maybe even, like, like, you know how if you refer someone to a company,
you get a bonus.
monetary bonus?
He missed out on the bonus.
Okay, I get it, James. So I'm just kidding.
I get it, James, but keep your feelings to yourself and your thoughts to yourself at this point.
I'm also going to guess that James probably wouldn't have to work directly with this person, so he probably didn't care if she was not going to be good at it.
Yeah. And yeah, he just wanted to use his connections to like get her the job and get his own bonus.
Yeah.
So do you think you owe friends special treatment at work?
This is so difficult in our industry.
Yeah.
Because I'm all about uplifting your friends and like providing them with opportunities and a platform, especially when they're really, really talented and like you can.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not going to be recommending someone who's bad at the job to be getting the job just because 100%. They're a mate, or like helping someone's mate get a job just because
it looks bad on you. Also, we're the same on this thing, is that like one thing that we both really value at work is competence. And one thing that like gets me is when someone's like not good at their job and isn't trying to be better. Yes.
Keywords, trying to be better.
Yeah.
Because everyone's got to start from somewhere.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to be new to something once in their life. But are you trying, or are you just like, I can't do it. I'm too stupid.
Yeah.
No.
Be better.
Stop being stupid.
Yeah, stop being stupid. This is where my Capricorn really comes out, because I'm just like, just be better. Anyway, yeah, I hate this. I feel like James needs to calm down. Your friend's a flop and should not have got the job. They didn't pass the interview. They didn't get the job. I'm being a bit brutal now.
No, but and you can, because it's a 40-year-old man.
Yes.
You're not being mean to a child.
The other thing that I also want to talk about is like the line between networking and nepotism, and something that like we learn a lot about like in training and stuff at work is unconscious bias when you're hiring and in an interview. Because obviously, and I think this person did a good job at trying to keep it at arm's length, obviously felt that there was an ethical boundary being crossed, knowing this person and like helping them with the initial questions that they were like, at the interview stage, I literally cannot help because I'm trying to avoid unconscious bias and like, prioritizing someone that I know just for the job. So I think this person did a good job. I don't think this person is being selfish or is the problem. I think they did the right thing.
And even if they are being selfish, I'm so sorry, but the workplace is somewhere you should be selfish, because you're going to have to work with this person and you don't want to be hiring a flop.
And you're probably going to have to pick up all of their work.
And again, when someone is more senior or like older than you in that regard, that's so annoying. You don't want to do that. I'm so sorry, James.
Sorry, James.
And your friend.
Well, I think that's pretty much it. Should we go through some quick references?
Yeah.
What do you owe your coworkers? I feel like you owe them like politeness, kindness, competence, but nothing else. I don't think. You don't owe your coworkers mentorship. If you feel like you need something, talk to your manager.
Yes. There you go. Big tip there.
Because what your manager owes you is different to what your coworker owes you, I would say. That's
their responsibility.
Yeah,
they're literally taking care of you. They're there to grow your career. That's literally, if your manager is too involved in their own work to help you, that's a problem. And then you should go to HR probably. Yeah.
And it goes back to expectations, which we talked about in the Work Friends episode, right? Don't have any expectations beyond what is owed to you. And what is owed to you is doing the other person doing their job and just being kind.
Yeah. So like we're also not saying just do your own thing, be independent and ignore everyone else.
No, yeah.
Because obviously Thea's very valuable in her, like the way that she works, Thea being the person in the first story we talked about. And I'm sure it's going to be very beneficial for her to train people that can then help her, and then, you know, you'll all progress. So it's never going to be a bad thing to help people around you that you work with, but they're not entitled to it. Yes. You can choose who you disclose that stuff to.
Yes. When you're a team working together and you're being kind and you're lifting each other up without impacting yourself, like to a detriment.
Yeah.
Everyone gets lifted up and the vibes are just on.
The vibes are so on.
Yeah.
And the final thing that I will say is that you don't owe your coworkers private information. So do not, don't worry if they're being weird about that. Yeah. Sorry. It's a workplace.
I would say, like, if it is getting weird, just make a joke of it.
Oh, it's so true.
Instead of being like, I don't want to tell you anything, just be like, haha.
Yeah, be like,
I'm not telling you.
My ex-husband came over the other day and like my 4 kids with them and then my 20 kids with this, but like just start making up stories.
Make it up.
Yeah.
We'll lie.
Just we love to lie. No, but like seriously though.
Yeah.
And just change it up every single day and people will know it's a joke and no one will like actually ask you about
And that's quite funny. That's like a bit of good office banter. Exactly. Like old mate keeps changing her personal. I love that. It's a bit. That's hilarious. All right, great. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Office Hours with Sohan and Hameda is a Val Morgan Digital production and part of the BuzzFeed Australia network. Have a question or topic you want us to cover or a workplace dilemma you want us to unpack? Send us a DM on Instagram at officehoursbf or drop us an email on officehours@valmorgan.com.au.
For more, follow us on Instagram and TikTok at officehoursbf. You can follow Sohan on socials at Sohan Judge and follow Hameda on socials at It's Hameda.
Our music is by Jasic. Make sure to hit subscribe or follow so you don't miss an episode. And if you like what you hear, please rate us 5 stars and tell your friends to clock in.